Welcome to the dark. I collect stories people don't want to tell. Some are real. Some should have stayed hidden.
At 11:43 p.m., a digital anomaly arrives. A person sitting alone in a dark apartment receives a text. The sender's name, profile picture, and phone number match their own exactly. The message is an audio file lasting exactly 6 seconds. There is no synthetic distortion, no AI-generated compression artifacts. It is the receiver's exact vocal signature, breathing heavily, whispering a single warning. This visual timeline illustrates the contradiction. Typically, we see data moving in a linear, left-to-right progression representing time. But the metadata on this message shows a data packet originating from a tomorrow node, traveling backward to intersect the present timeline. The voice in the recording gives one explicit instruction: do not answer the door at midnight. Exactly at midnight, the impossible warning gets physical validation. A physical entity arrives outside the apartment and delivers 3 slow knocks at the threshold. The person inside walks towards the peephole, senses danger, and steps back. Instantly, the phone vibrates with a second message from tomorrow, praising them for keeping away from the door. The future timeline is actively monitoring their immediate physical movements. This establishes a closed-loop system. The person inside is now entirely dependent on an impossible temporal source. To survive the night, they have to obey their own voice from the future. Over the next 5 days, a clear pattern emerges. Strict, immediate obedience consistently results in survival. The warnings allow the target to bypass highly specific, catastrophic disasters. A message dictates they leave a grocery store immediately, and 10 minutes later, a vehicle violently shatters the glass storefront. But the survival pattern starts to degrade. The audio quality shifts. The future sender's voice grows weaker, physically exhausted, and audibly terrified. They sound like they are actively being hunted. This diagram maps the structural flaw in the communication loop. With each outward warning pulse sent back in time, an expanding concentric radar graphic illuminates a red pathway. This creates a traceable signal for an external anomaly to follow backward to the center point. The entity uses these temporal breadcrumbs to learn. By listening to the warnings meant to protect the target, the predator calculates the target's exact spatial coordinates. The secure environment completely collapses. Every light and screen in the apartment goes dark. The only illumination is the phone, displaying a new contact named outside the door and a text reading, "It sees you." The hostile variable breaches the timeline loop and initiates direct communication. It texts the target a chilling acknowledgement, thanking them for helping the entity find them. The very act of surviving triggered the threat. By reacting to the warnings, the target confirmed their location in space-time. Every message that kept them alive functioned as a homing beacon for a predatory entity. The entity begins sending photographic evidence from tomorrow. These images prove it can document the target from impossible spatial positions. A final photograph shows a replica sitting on the target's bed, using their exact face. This 3D wireframe map tracks the spatial collapse. A hostile red marker at street level angles toward the blue target on the 14th floor. Bypassing physical security, it teleports instantly to the threshold, then moves directly into the bedroom, completely engulfing the blue marker. A final warning arrives from the collapsing future timeline. The exhausted future self reveals the entity's true motive, begging the target not to let the creature finish becoming them. The bedroom closet slowly opens to reveal a void. The tracing signals have reached critical density, causing the apartment's geometry to buckle. This darkness is the physical endpoint of that signal, a breach where 2 separate eras have finally overlapped. A physical replica crawls out of the dark. It is a deeply corrupted replication, featuring a disturbingly precise, smiling face, but with eyes that are entirely pitch-black voids. At that exact moment, the target's phone explodes with thousands of simultaneous warnings. Countless fractured alternate versions from different timelines flood a screen with messages to run and hide. The entity explains its method. It needed those thousands of warnings to navigate the multiverse, following the density of the signals to locate the exact timeline capable of being consumed. The Predator relied on the volume of warnings to bridge the gap between dimensions, mapping a complete route. Each life-saving alert provided a new data point for the entity to enter the present. The warnings themselves were the invitation needed to complete the physical replacement.